All right, guys, we are live once again. I have Eric Talman from Satellite Phone Store with me today, and we're going to be talking about some of the new developments in the company and the availability of the satellite phones, as well as just how a little more technology background information that we all kind of like to have here. I personally like to see all this technical stuff myself because it helps me to kind of understand and share with other people why they might need a satellite phone, especially in the days that we're living in right now, with all the crazy stuff that's going on in the news. It just seems like satellite phones become more and more a necessity in my mind of having with you wherever you're at. And I'm just getting familiar with mine. Eric, God bless you. It's really nice to have you back again. We definitely love the sat phones. And I'm just getting really familiar with mine right now, especially with all the new little devices that came with it. And I really appreciate you guys. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm here in sunny Florida at our Florida office. Um, man, the business has been very busy, helping all different types of people. It's always great getting to work with people from different walks of life, and you always get surprised coming to work who you might get to help next. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people. We do a lot of business with enterprises and different agencies, but for Blazing Press and for this type of customer, it's my favorite because it's just us helping other people communicate whenever they want it. Which I compare it to like water and air. Once it's gone, you can't get it. You don't know what you pay for it. And today we have some of the most affordable specials ever for a satellite phone. So we've tried to make it more affordable and bring it down to everybody.
That's really great. Yeah, and I've when I first came on board with you guys to share this great availability in technology to the average person like myself, I remember satellite phones were so expensive. I could always think, only rich people can afford them, and now it's literally the price of a cell phone. I mean, my cell phone bill a couple years back was more than the satellite phone bill. I mean, I think it was like $180 or something like that a month I was paying for Verizon. I couldn't understand. They were like, well, you got this on there, you got this on there. I was like, well, take some of that stuff off. It's way too expensive. But, if you can get it down to 100, 120, 130, I know that right now, because of what's happening in the world, prices are just skyrocketing everywhere for technology. If it has a computer chip in it, whether you could even find it, the prices are going up. And I know that it's affecting everybody, but we have to understand it's still affordable, but prices are going up. So what's going on with that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, where we're
Yeah,
at with the supply chain and how this is affecting the prices.
yeah, I'll give it to you real. So at any given time, we like to have, let's just say, thousands of satellite phones on hand because we saw since 2006 many disasters where in some cases we ran out and we couldn't help anybody. And what are we doing then? Might as well go home. So we learned a long time ago, back in 2017, Hurricane Maria, we got to have thousands of extra phones available. So that's our MO. And we've been able, because we carried so many of them, to run an offer that allows us to put a satellite phone that's normally $600-700 into somebody's hands out the door for about $100 a month. And that really took off, and people really thanked us for it. And we've been getting great comments and feedback for it. So we just kept it running. And I guess we ran it out. And now if you place an order for one of our iSat phone free phone plans, it's about a 30-45 day backlog.
Yep.
So we have hundreds of orders, and as we fulfill them, more orders come in. We wait for the inventory, and just every month that goes by, the manufacturers are just harder to drill down to a date and a quantity of when stuff's coming. Just whether it's the satellite phones or the solar panels or the battery packs, or everything that we're providing.
Well,
Every
would
month
you
it gets
say
harder.
it's the chip set, the chip in the phone that's I know everything that the chips are made in Taiwan and in China. And because of Taiwan's problems now with China, it may even look like more problems coming for technology industries, and as well as even appliances. Everything's got a chip in it now. But
And
is this what you're seeing is happening with the satellite phones too?
well, they
They're
don't
being
want to tell you that, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that in addition to, um, there's just a larger demand now. I think as events in the world have really unfolded, pandemic causing division and the people, and then you got weather and political and all this military and coming into our lives, and people are freaking out for good reason, getting satellite phones. So that just put a bigger demand on it, and
right.
they're $100. So when we go back to the manufacturers and we tell them how many more we think we're going to need, we don't know what we can do. So we get only a limited amount every 30 to 60 days. So as every day goes by, we have to keep an eye on how many are left, how many orders, and what we can fulfill. So that way we can be honest with everybody who's placing an order. We had to put a little message on the website. So when you check out, it lets you know you can be back ordered 30 to 40 days.
Now that's the iSat, what do they call it, Immersat brand.
Yeah.
Now the
Yeah.
Iridium, though, you still have some of those right now in stock, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we also have a large stockpile of those that we hold for a rainy day. And now we're doing a run of 1,000 of those at $169 a month. So at $169, you get the phone, 100 minutes, rollover, and the sat phone included. So that's a 24-month plan. So you got to stick with it a little bit longer at that plan. But that gives you a $1,200. I'm sorry, a $950 satellite phone out the door at $170 a month. So
right.
And for people who want it now and don't want to wait 30, 45 days, maybe Inmarsat can't deliver more phones. Who knows? We have the Iridiums, and some cool things about the Iridium. I got one of the kits here. So this is our disaster kit. We put this together based off of everything we've learned throughout the years
That's
of
nice.
Working with different ones. So satellite phone and a small Faraday bag. So the sat phone's in there.
That's good. Now the Faraday bag is in case there's some kind of a EMP, which would be an attack from a foreign country with a nuclear device that would explode in the air. And then also CME, which would happen because of the sun, right? That's what that is?
Well, and also, so when you're traveling around, going places, maybe you don't want your device being picked up off the towers. And
right.
I sometimes I put me and my partner's cell phone in there to have dinner, so there's no distractions. There
you go.
It's another benefit of those bags.
Just in case there's somebody wants to listen through your cell phone, because cell phones are very vulnerable, right?
I don't know how this stuff works, man. Like they say that they don't listen to your speaker or your mic, but there's just no way. And I looked up as much as I can find out about their tracking algorithms. Did all my research, spent hours on it the other day, because there was just no way they could read my mind that well. So what I did was I turned the speaker off in my applications and my settings. So I want to see how it works for a week without a speaker. I haven't been seeing as many ads.
Yep.
So I don't know. Yeah. So these phones, no tracking, no tracing. The 9555 model is actually the best for this because it doesn't have GPS. It's like our slim, lightweight sat phone. So the 9555 Iridium satellite phone has been out for years. But for one of the reasons it's very popular, kind of like a James Bond phone, is because no GPS on this device. The only way Iridium could try to track you is using a phenomenon called Doppler shift, which they have to triangulate between their satellites. It takes time, and it's just the least easiest trackable satellite phone. So neat option good about that guy there.
That's awesome.
Yep. So also in the kit, you get the 10,000 milliamp backup battery. And just so people know, this doesn't make a phone call or anything like that. Its only job is to charge up off our solar panel. So we got a solar panel. This is USB. So USB comes out of this. You hook that up to your battery pack. So that way, during the day, if you don't have power, this is charging your battery pack. And then in the evening, as you're not using your satellite phone or you need to recharge it, you recharge your satellite phone over USB to the battery pack.
Directly from your. So if it's at night, you're at night and you've already charged your battery bank up, then you can just hook it right up if you're in your tent or wherever you're at. If you're
Right
going
to your
out,
mobile, right
right.
to your satellite phone, and it'll recharge both those guys, and off you go again the next day.
How many charges can that little battery bank do for your
300.
300?
Yeah, 300 charges.
Wait a
From
minute.
what I understand, lithium
Wow.
ion polymer battery, 300 charges. But I also got some recent information that says store them at about 40%. So for those interested in storage, putting this away, store it for that day that you need it, you can store the batteries at about 40%. That's for both devices, your sat phone or your backup battery. That's what I'm being told by the
Now,
expert.
when you say store, what do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean.
Oh, this is going in here. Everything's going in my case. I'm putting it away, and I'm gonna have it ready for when I need it. That's called storing it, right? So I'm storing it right there.
Okay,
Well, when I
so
put
you're
it
saying
there-
that 40% of the battery will still be there. If you charge it all the way up to the top, it'll be no.
What
You
they
should.
recommend is storing it at 40%.
I
So
got
right
you.
down to just a little bit less than halfway. Might not make a lot of sense if you're thinking about going out and using it. So if you're gonna go out and use it, definitely charge it up. But if you're gonna store it like this, run it down to 40% and then go store it.
You
So
know,
that-
I've heard that about lithium batteries. If you keep it a little bit lower than the full charge, in some different batteries are different. Obviously, they're saying less than 40 on this. That it'll last you twice or three times as long. And even still, the battery life of a lithium battery is very long compared to any other types of batteries. Even if
we
you
wanna
charged it
prolong
up.
we just want to prolong it as much
Exactly.
as we can. And some of our customers have these phones for 10 years before they get a new one. I've seen customers wait 7 years. New satellite phones don't come out every 5-6 years max. I'm sorry, minimum. So every 5-6 years, you might see a new satellite phone. That's just because they've put everything on them that they can put on them to make them work. And it's not changing.
So are you saying to charge the battery bank less than 40, but what about the satellite phone? Is that also below 40?
I haven't gotten great feedback on that yet, but from what I understand, yeah, to leave it just slightly less than 50%. And then when you go to pull it out, there'll be some drain over long periods of time. But apparently, when you go to charge it back up to use it, it likes that duty cycle better than just being stored full
Right.
and drained and stored full and drained. I guess that's what we think we should be doing. But from what I understand now about batteries, that's not it. When you do long-term storage, like you store it for 6 months before you go pull it out and test it again, and store it 40% is going to help.
Now,
that
is
battery.
the satellite phone itself a lithium battery? The battery on the phone?
Yeah, it's lithium ion.
Oh, okay, good. That's really good. Shoot. And the thing about lithium too is you can store lithium for 20 years and there's no degradation of the battery at all. I've seen this with the little Duracell batteries now that are lithium. It says 20-year shelf life. You can just let them sit there for 20 years and they're just like the day you bought them. They're not going to degrade.
The lithium ion polymers, they like the 40, I guess, from what I'm told. So
Right.
that is our iridium. Sorry, that's our iridium kit. And it's a great deal for anyone that still wants a sat phone to order it right now and get it delivered in a few days. That's a great option. $169 is a little bit more than what some people want to pay monthly for a satellite phone, but who knows what that could be in 2 years.
Well, you're getting the satellite phone in that payment for free still over your term, but the phone itself over almost $1,000 if you were to
These
go and
phones
try
could
to
be
buy
double
it.
that price in 2 years for all I know. I really don't. There's no
Right.
magic ball. I hope they're not. We wouldn't sell as many. Not as many people will get them. But with shortages,
Well, with all the things that are going on in the world with the supply chain breakdown, I mean, we've talked about this on our podcast quite often in the last 2 weeks. The boats, they're all sitting off the shore of our coasts over in China. They're also on the coast there. They're not moving. Nothing's moving. They're not offloading these things, or they're very slow. There's not enough workers. We can't get anybody to even offload them. So how is that going to affect prices and supply of everything?
I just did some quotes for some orders for some of my customers, some larger orders, and I was surprised at the shipping cost. What used to maybe cost $400 or $500 to get a shipment to Panama, to Spain, or a big shipment up to one of my customers in the US, has doubled from what I recall seeing not long ago. So I don't know if it has to do with people not wanting to go to work because they don't want a vaccine. I don't blame them. I won't do it either. Or not wanting to go to work for different reasons, or whatever the slowdowns may be is real. We got thousands of solar panels and battery packs we're waiting to receive sitting in those containers off ships in LA. Also phones. So yeah, and I'm noticing the cost of shipping going up.
Well, that's why I tell everybody, get your things now that you think you might need, especially if there is some kind of problem that America is going to be entering into in terms of political, economic, natural disasters. We're entering into the dark winter, as Biden has said. You might want to think about that. There's been attacks on our grid, and even just the other day, yesterday, I think there was a big outage on some websites. I mean, it seems like there's always something happening now. 3 or 4 days ago, there was an attack on major websites that went down. I think Facebook was one of them, and Twitter even, it was affected. So, they're talking about grid down, lights out. I think I'd want a satellite phone. And by the way, I was talking about this yesterday on our podcast. I was watching or listening. I was taking a little drive. I was doing some work, and I was listening to Fox News on our, what is it? Sirius has Fox News. And I'm sitting there listening to the commercials, and they have one after another after another. It's a CDC, FDA commercial, FEMA commercial, and it's like this huge, cycle of disaster, pandemic, this and that, and it's like, what are they trying to prepare us for? And then they're saying, this is what they said on the FEMA one: you need to go to FEMA.communications because cell phones might not be reliable, and you want to keep in communications with your loved one. And I'm thinking, well, they didn't say how. I'm thinking satellite phone.
NOAA, I think it's NOAA. I could be wrong. NOAA, I believe, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, one who does satellites and weather monitoring. We use it for tracking the hurricanes all the time here in Florida.
Right.
Everyone knows NOAA here. They, on their website for their disaster kit, they recommended a hand crank AM/FM radio. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, what better way to keep people obedient? Just only give them the ability to listen to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't give any power. Make them crank it themselves. Like, wow, that's messed up. So solar panels, backup batteries, they might seem like accessories you might not need, but if you've lived through some of those situations our customers have, you see it different. Well, another thing that we have readily available, we only have 1,000 of them right now, is a new device called a Bivy, and it runs on the Iridium satellite network. This is it. So we just got the agreement done with these guys. Very small.
Oh yeah.
Like here's my sunglasses, and there's the Bivy.
I tell people it looks almost like an ice cream sandwich. Look at the side, doesn't it?
Yeah, like a little ice cream, but with a cool carabiner, wearable, so you can carabine or you can use that strap. And it's cool. I took this thing out and tested it overnight, left it out in the rain. Works perfectly great. Battery holds up. There's some neat functions to this. So this is running on Iridium, so you are getting the same satellites that you would out of the 9555 satellite phone. So make that clear for everybody. Oh, that disaster kit is $249, by the way. It's got everything: Faraday bag, hard case, solar panel, backup battery. So Iridium 9555, our global satellite phone for $169, everything included. Bivy. So the Bivy's great for people who just want to text. A lot of young people want to just text. Sometimes we don't want people hearing our conversation verbally. The Bivy's $65 a month. You get unlimited two-way texting. You get a USA phone number. So with this, you can be literally anywhere, even tucked in between buildings, mountains, places other satellite phones wouldn't work. This guy will work.
Okay, so people are wondering, how in the world do you text with that?
You pair it over Bluetooth to a mobile device. Doesn't have to be a cellular device. Could be an iPod, an Android phone without a SIM card. A lot of our customers don't want cell phones.
So you're
I don't.
saying you don't need to actually be connected. You could just have just a laid cell phone that's just laying around that's not even got service, and you can use it.
Yes, and a lot of people do have that. I know I do. So, or you can connect it to one you carry every day. Doesn't matter. But this allows you to open the Bivy app, send two-way unlimited text messages as much as you want.
Wow.
You can get weather for your location, 7-day weather forecast. Really cool. And you get online tracking only if you want it. And you can send that secure link to friends and family, people that you want to see you.
So, like, if you're out in the middle of Timbuktu where there's no cell phone service, you're out hunting or fishing or out exploring, then somebody will know where you're at.
Exactly. Or you don't have to do that, and you can, or there's an SOS button right there on the bottom. You click that, press it. That's gonna alert search and rescue that you are in need of an emergency. They're gonna if you put the information in, they'll contact your primary, secondary emergency contacts to see if it's a real emergency. Yeah, they'll say yes, we don't know where he is, or no, he's sitting on the couch, and they'll actually try to respond to you in the app saying, "Hey, where are you? What's the nature of your situation? How can we help you?"
Wow.
So, life-saving device. It is made by ACR, which is a company that makes PLBs and EPIRBs, which are life-saving beacons. That's all they do, satellite life-saving beacons. So, great company to work with. And yeah, it's online now, $65 a month for 12 months. You own the device, you got unlimited service. So it's a great option for anybody who's thinking about a satellite phone that just doesn't want to shell out $100+ a month, just not in the budget. Well, $65 will get you there and make sure you can communicate when everything else is down. So I'm getting one of these for each one of my family members. I used to just have a sat phone for my mom and dad and my brother, but now I'm going to get these for my other brothers and cousins because it's more affordable. Everyone can communicate no matter where they go.
And the battery on that, is that considered is that a lithium too?
This is a lithium ion polymer. And I sent a question to their engineering the other day. And here we go. Yeah, looking at the material safety data sheet supporting the battery. The battery is 1,450 milliamp hour lithium ion polymer battery. It's exceptionally good in cold weather, and it does not gain memory like other battery compositions. Yeah, about 300 cycles, and then dropping about 5% capacity from each cycle after that. So, and they also say to store it at 40%.
Store it at 40.
Yeah, so that's the Bivy. That's the battery.
Right, that's awesome, and that's a great price for unlimited texting. That's great.
Yeah, nice situation.
And with the kids nowadays, they love to just text all over the place. But it's definitely something you're going to need if anything does happen, like grid down type thing, or even if you're just wanting to chat to people all the time without having a cell phone. Some people don't want a cell phone. I mean, they just want to text. Isn't that weird how you talk to people and all they do is text you and they don't ever want to call you anymore? It's like, hey, I'm old school. I like to talk to people on the phone.
You get, they say a average human can type on average 45 words per minute. And on average, you can speak 135 words a minute. So it's actually us speaking to each other is the quickest way to communicate. But people still like text because it's done on their time or don't want anybody listening to them. Who knows?
Or maybe they don't feel comfortable really talking to you. It's a way to keep you at arm's length.
Today, so we're going to text. Yeah. No, I get it. But I'm just happy I'm working with a company that brings great solutions to people at affordable prices. And we help a lot.
I'm glad to be working with you guys too and helping you get this out because I look at it as it's a very important tool and it's a life-saving device. I mean, some people say, well, if there's ever anything goes wrong, the satellites will go down and how are you going to pay your bill and how are you going to use it? Well, I tell them this. The first things that are going to go down are our grid, cell phone towers, power. If you've got your own power bank and you've got a satellite phone, that's going to probably last a lot longer than, and who knows, if it's the end of the world, yeah, everything will eventually go down. But I think satellite phones are going to be the only thing left standing.
There's a great question loaded in there that I get a lot. is, and I even seen it on YouTube and stuff. Will satellite phones work in a total grid down situation? And we don't know because we haven't gone through that. But from what I do know is the only thing that these guys require to work is the ground station. So yes, a ground station is required. And there are different places and they're highly secure facilities. And they have tons of backup diesel power to run those. Think about how much business and service and people rely on those networks, those satellite networks every day. So just like a ship in the ocean can keep going for over a year, power generation, these data centers or these what we call service access stations have the same capability. So we may be down out of power in our states, but those ground stations, along with data centers, will still be up, at least for a long time. I don't know how long the data centers can stay online without external power, but I'm going to say it's nothing less than 90 days.
Yes.
Yeah. So just to let people know, that's what I believe.
And I also like what you guys say too. Any type of disaster, and even if you're not going to be turned off in any moment. If you have to go over your minutes, or if it's an emergency situation, they're not going to turn you off. They'll leave you on for, if it's something major, they're going to leave you guys on. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Well, it's about 3 months. We've had customers that buy a service, sail away, and then their card expires and you can't get a hold. We usually get a hold of everybody about 90 days. But if the networks are down, we can't reach people. No, we're not turning people off. We want to come back to our same business too. So no, it's not going to happen. That's not why we do our job. We do this because we love helping people stay connected the best we can, best that's available. And that's what we're doing here. So it's cool to be on Blazing Press, man. I watch your news on my Telegram like every day.
Thank you. That Telegram is definitely a great place to, and I love the way Telegram is set up, because you can just pump news out really quick, and you got video on there, and it's just such an easy way to connect with people. It kind of reminds me of like the texting or the satellite kind of network where you're just going to be connected to people without having interference. Because the Telegram, the guy that created it, he made it for the purpose of trying to overcome tyrannical governments that were trying to censor everything. They were censoring everything.
Yeah, they're living out of Dubai now. Yeah, so that was Russians, and then the Americans tried to offer us developers a couple $100,000 to build a backdoor ad, and they acted nice but turned them down. All their developers make over $1 million, so there's no. That's one of the reasons I like Telegrams. You can watch it, don't have to worry about who's watching you watch it.
Yep.
So. But one thing that we have that's coming cool or in partnership with is a group called Galileo.
Yeah.
And the Galileo is an application that is basically made for people like yourself and Blazing Press, people who are really good at assimilating lots of information, distilling it, and then getting it out to people, keeping people informed. And Galileo's made in the event that the grid is down, you'll be able to use your Galileo access to send a message from your sat phone, and it goes out to all your followers. So even me, if I'm on your Galileo feed. And have you set yourself up on that yet, Robert?
Yes, I did. Now, let me ask you this. If the and I'm going to be talking to Chris again. He's the guy that's kind of behind some of this real soon. Now, if you send, do you know particularly, like if you send a text, let's just say the grid goes down, there's no internet, because a lot of people expect the internet to go out as well. Is that still going to be sent to another, and it only works with satellite phones from what I understand right now. Only satellite phones can receive these back and forth text through Galileo. And this will be a network-wide blast. I'll tell you it's like a text blast, except it's with satellite phones. We've been doing text blasts.
It's like
that's what we've been doing.
It's like Telegram meets Amber Alert, but for your sat phone. So you're able to put something on there, and it's going to go out to everybody's satellite phones, 160 character message or less, and that's going to be able to give people updates, or even if they're out, doing some survival training or preparing or exercising, be able to make sure we get these updates even when we're out in a certain area. You know,
We're gonna start sending out regular. I've been sending out one or two here or there, but we're gonna start sending them out every. I think Tina would like us to get them out every other day or every day or so. And then, and if you have a satellite phone, you will get those texts, and you can prepare. And like Eric says, it's kind of like getting used to a technology so that when you really do need it, it's right there, okay? Because not everybody has their satellite phone on every day, but I want to make sure everybody's up to speed on how it works and that it gets to your satellite phone when you need to get it.
And if you get a bivy, it's going to be even easier because satellite phone, you have to go outside, get the message. The messages only stay on Iridium and Inmarsat servers for 4 days. So if you don't get that satellite phone online, you're going to miss maybe on some messages. At least 4 days you got. But after 4 days, if you haven't connected, you're not going to get anything past that. So one cool thing about the bivy is you can like set it in a windowsill, even set it outside. You can be inside and you're getting those messages.
Wow.
It's really slick. Yeah.
Perfect. It picks up, the bivy picks up signals pretty easy, really quick, huh?
Oh, man.
So the Galileo is kind of similar to having a bivy, right?
Well, you see, Galileo's job is to disseminate information, distribute it from the people who are doing the job of finding out the truth, what's going on, and getting out information. So that's what Galileo is there for. And then also as a delivery service. So they're delivering the messages out to the satellite devices from you, and in a cost-effective, affordable way. And backup servers here and there and there and there. Now, if the internet's down everywhere.
Well, let me ask you this. Can the bivy, because it has a phone number, can it be connected to Galileo?
Yes. Well, that's what they're working on right now. I shouldn't say yes too strongly. It's I believe they'll have it done in about 2 weeks. But
good. Now that's another option for people that don't have the satellite phone. If they want to get that message, they can get that. And I think that'll be easy to do because it is a phone number, right?
It is a phone number, but there's some other stuff I can't even talk about that allows us to get messages even in more directly. So the connectivity delivery time of a bivy message is very fast, actually, almost faster than a satellite phone.
Okay, so technology is expanding very quickly, and that's why we want to have you on all the time here, as often as we can to get updates on all the development. So you're saying in a couple of weeks now, the bivy might be online with the Galileo, and that's good because the more options we have, the better I think we are all going to be.
If it's me, I got my cell phone, my sat phone, my bivy, my solar panel, my backup battery, my Faraday bag, and I'm feeling good.
Yep.
If I'm going to go do something longer, I pull out some of our data hotspot devices and stuff like that. But this is like my mobile, whether I'm fishing, kayaking, keeping it in the house, keeping it in the truck, that's my go-to. And I've been doing this since 2006. Seen a lot of stuff. So this is what we've put together to help people.
That's awesome, Eric. Well, brother, it's been very good talking to you again. If there's anything else that you would like to share that's on your mind, please do. If we've gone through everything or if we haven't, let me know.
Encourage people to step out, whether you're buying a car or getting a project done around your house or thinking about investing in technology to keep you connected, do it. If you wait till you need it, it's probably too late. Don't want to sound cheesy, but that's the truth. Like, you wait till you need a new truck, you go to a dealership, you're not going to get what you like. You wait until you really need a satellite phone, you go looking for one, you may not like the lead times. So we're still trying to keep everybody satisfied, but it's hard. It's not just hard for our industry, but hard for many. So just encourage people, whether it's dry foods, other materials, other currencies, whatever, all these things to help with survival. I highly encourage you to reach out and get what you need now, not later.
That's some great advice. Some great advice, Eric. And I do appreciate you having you on today again. And tell Tina over there at the company that I said hello, and all of our audience appreciates you guys very much. You guys are great for keeping us connected.
I can't wait to see myself on your Telegram news.
All right. I'll be posting it this week. So you guys be ready for that. God
All right,
bless you,
partner.
Eric.
Take care. God bless you too.
Thank
Have a
you,
good
brother.
day.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye now.
Bye.